Hi, Royalty. What's up? It's your girl, Live, Learn, Liz. And if you don't know, this channel is the inside tea to my personal life lessons. I'm discussing everything from parenting to surviving abuse, relationships, living single. And I also have my boo thing, my little daughter, my baby. She's also going to join this channel and share her stuff too. So sit back, relax, enjoy, learn. There's lessons in every video. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, so let's get it popping. So I made a video previously about why domestic violence victims stay. That is a question that I see a lot. I hear a lot, especially when I tell my story. It's not really an easy answer, but it is an ignorant question. I dislike that question with a passion. When people tell me, oh, you should have just left. Oh, that could never be me. You know, all kind of stuff like that. Let me tell you something. Domestic violence happens to everyone at some point in time. 1 in 3 women will experience domestic violence at least once in their lifetime. 1 in 3. 1 in 3. Put 10 women up next to each other, and at least 3 of them has had either emotional, financial, or physical abuse in their lifetime. It's a horrible statistic. It really is. But it's real. So it may not have happened to you yet. It may not ever happen to you. But let me tell you something. The girl sitting next to you, the man sitting next to you, they may have experienced it. My daughter has a saying, Google is free. So if you don't know, Google it. Research. Do your research. Because people that have been in this type of situation that is, experiencing trauma, PTSD, stuff like that, that question alone is a trigger. Because we ask ourselves this all the time. Let me give you a little background on me. I've experienced domestic violence twice. 2 different relationships. I'm not saying twice individually, but 2 different relationships with domestic violence. The first one was worse than the second, but it happened. It happened. My first one was my first real boyfriend. He idolized me in public. When it came down to his friends, it was, she's amazing. She's my queen. She's a boss. Stuff like that. I love you so much. He idolized me. He did. But the second that I did something that he didn't like, no matter how simple it was my head. It was my head. It happened. It didn't matter if I was pregnant. It didn't matter if I was sad. It didn't matter if I was already hurt. It's been times that I've been beaten right after I got beaten, so it happens. My second relationship, it was amazing for the most part, This was just a person that didn't like to be told about herself. And the second that you try and correct him, or I can't even say correct him, we could have an argument, I will say my piece after listening to him talk for hours, say what I gotta say, and the second I'm like, well, I don't like it when you do this, it's a fight. And it started out simple, just a little slap, or, you know, he might grab my throat and let it go. But afterwards, it's always a, I'm so sorry. It'll never happen again. You're amazing. I love you. It'll never happen again. You know, and just gonna start off by saying it. It's gonna happen again. But us as victims, we believe that shit. He said it's not gonna happen again, so it's not gonna happen again. Second time he doesn't. Third time. Fourth time. Fifth time. Sixth time. Seventh time. Until it started getting horribly bad. So let's get to the point. I'm sorry, y'all. Let's get to the point. Why do we stay? Okay? Why do we stay? First off, it's because they already done seduced us and made us fall for them. You don't go on your first date with a person and they're like, oh yeah, I hit women. And if you don't like this, I'm gonna beat your ass. They don't do that. They don't do that. They're going to seduce you. They're gonna make you fall for them. They're gonna make you feel special. They're gonna make you feel like they care. They're not gonna show their flaw early on in the relationship. They're gonna wait till you get comfortable. So by that time, we're already in love. We're already falling for this person. This person has already had so many good times. You know, we always say, hey, when it's good, it's good. It's bad, it's bad. And that was one thing that I used to say all the time. When it's good, it's good. But when it's bad, it's bad. And if the good outweighed the bad, it's like, well, I don't have to leave. I don't want to be one of those women that just leave for no reason. I can put up with that. I love him. I love her. You know, I'm in love, so I can't just dismiss them like that. That's number one. Number two, when you're isolated, who do you go to? Who do you tell? I'm not going to tell my boss that I'm getting my ass whooped at home. I'm not going to tell my daughter's teacher that I'm getting my ass whooped at home. I'm not going to tell the person at the corner store. I'm not going to tell my neighbor because that is so embarrassing. What do I look like telling these people that I don't even know in real life that I'm being beat at home or that there's some kind of domestic violence? They're going to judge me. And the people that I really do care about, and I think that they actually care about me, I've already disappeared from them and isolated myself from them. So who's going to love me now? And I ain't even going to lie, your abuser, they're going to add on to it. They're going to antagonize the whole situation. Nobody's going to love you. Nobody's going to want to be with you. Don't nobody want to hear that shit. Nobody's going to believe you. That is a huge one. Nobody's going to believe you. You can go tell whoever you want. Ain't nobody going to believe you. And they're going to break you down to that point that you actually believe it. That you actually believe it. And then that in itself, when you feel so isolated and alone and you feel like you have nobody to turn to, it's going to mess your head up. It is. It is. The next thing, they're always going to introduce a threat. And I'm not saying a verbal threat. It might be a verbal threat, but it's not always a verbal threat. They're going to buy guns. They're going to get weapons. They're going to show you. My first abuser, he had hands. You hear me? Like he used to fight all the time. You know what I'm saying? So I knew that if he hit me, oh my God, it's a wrap. On top of that, you know, like my second abuser, he had a gun. You know what I'm saying? And it was always like, I'll kill your ass. They're going to tell you that. They're going to tell you. And when they tell you, believe them. Believe it. They ain't lying. It's not a threat. It's a promise. Once we see that threat, and once we see or hear or recognize that threat, it's all mental from there. Well, if I try and leave, he's going to kill me, you know? Or if I try and leave, he's going to hurt me. He's going to hurt my kids. He's going to hurt my life. It's a threat. And because we probably have seen them in action, we don't have anything but fear now. So a lot of people that don't leave abusive relationships, they're scared. They're scared. I'm gonna tell you a little story. I have a tattoo, and you probably won't be able to see it, but it says BTS, which stands for Break the Silence, and 10-10-16. So anybody that knows me knows a little bit about my life. 10-10-16, that is my daughter's birthday. Why do you have a tattoo with Break the Silence in your daughter's birthday? Because my daughter's birthday is my first freedom day. I call it a freedom day. It's like my birthday too. So me and my daughter have this big celebration, and we go out and it's just us, and we celebrate. We celebrate because I tried to leave the day before. And I almost died that day. 7 months pregnant. Big old belly. Can't really do nothing because big old belly, you know. And it was right after a hurricane, like literally like the day after the hurricane. And I was kind of in a crazy situation. So I told my abuser, like, I'm not putting up with this shit anymore. I'm finna have a baby. I'm finna leave. You can kiss my ass, right? And I don't think it was those exact words, but you know, you know how it is. Bye, deuces. I'm out this bitch because I want to live to see my child grow old and get married and graduate college and high school. I want to see all that. I want to have grandkids that I actually know and am alive to, you know, do for. So, and I told him all that. And at first, when I told him, he was like, yeah, you're right. You know, we need to do this for our child and all that good stuff. But the second that I got ready to walk out that door, I don't know if he didn't believe I was actually leaving, which, you know, he probably doesn't, because what you allow will continue. And how many times have we told our abuser that we're leaving, you know? But yeah, the second I walked out that door, or tried to walk out that door, I had a gun to my head. Well, the back of my head, but I had a gun to my head. He had a bike chain, the ones you lock, the bike locks. He had that wrapped around his hand. And yeah, shit happened. So I run. After he did what he did, he told me to go get him a beer so he can calm down. I'm laughing because it's been so many years that I could kind of laugh about it now. But you got to laugh to keep from crying, you know. I don't really know what was going through his head. I don't know if he just thought that I, would come right back or what. He told me to go get him a beer, so I said okay. And I went to the cops. There was one place that I knew that there was a heavy police presence, security and stuff, and I ran, literally. Pregnant, huge. I didn't walk. I ran until I got there, and I told him what was going on. And next thing you know, I'm in the back of the ambulance because I start having contractions. I get to the hospital. They say, you're in labor. And my daughter was born at 12:52 a.m. on October 10th. That man beat me so bad that I went into labor early. Got arrested at the hospital. Because, of course, when you go to the hospital, they want to know why your face is busted up. And I had if y'all want to know why I don't have no edges, I have a cut. It's still there. It's a scar in my head from where he hit me with the bike chain. I have this cut on my lip right here. It's still a scar, but my lip was completely split in half. I don't even have those pictures no more, but I wouldn't even show those pictures if I could. It's disgusting. I had a lip that was cut in half. They wanted to do plastic surgery on. Eye swollen, lip busted. I couldn't hear out of this ear. He broke my ear. Well, he fractured my eardrum. I can't remember the exact terminology of it. Had a huge cut. Now my hair, doesn't grow on my edges. It was a lot. And then I had to push out a baby. Worried, sick, because heart rates keep dropping, and the doctor tells me straight up, yes, you're in labor. Yes, we're going to have to push out this baby, but I'm going to tell you that this is a life or death situation. And the doctor asked me, because there was nobody there. I was by myself. I'm like Skyping my mom. Thank God, I memorized her phone number for years ago. I hadn't spoken to her in years. But the first person I called was my mom, and I, Skyped her and told her what was going on. But she wasn't there to see me push. She wasn't there and when I pushed, so the doctor asked me, she said, if you have to choose, would you rather us save you or the baby? As a mother, what do you choose? Save my daughter. But when I say God was with me, baby, me and my little girl, we're here. We're alive. We're healthy. We're happy. We're good. That's why we don't leave. We're scared. Not because we're weak. Not because we don't have confidence in ourselves. It's because we don't want to die. Especially not in the hands of another person who says they love us. Let me tell you something. Leaving is dangerous. When you leave, you make a plan. You have to plan it. This is top secret. You are now the CIA and the FBI. We have a top secret plan to leave now. We make a safety plan, and sometimes you make that safety plan and you're not able to complete that plan for months. We have to plan for it. We can't just, you know what? I'm leaving, walk out the door. It doesn't work like that. I've learned some abusers, you can't even tell that you're leaving. You can't tell them that. You tell them, and you're walking in a hospital with blood everywhere. You tell them, you're leaving in a body bag. Over 70% of domestic violence happens after the victim tries to leave. I'm sorry, let me correct that. Let me correct it because I said it wrong. Over 70% of domestic violence type murders happen after the victim leaves or tries to leave. Over 70%. What do? Another reason we don't leave is because if they don't kill us, they're stalking. What about your kids? They're going to try and use your kids. They're going to try and use the courts. They're going to try and use your finances. They're going to do whatever they can to put you in a situation to where you feel like you have to come back. My second abuser, his famous phrase was, you need me. You ain't shit without me. You need me. You need me. You need me. Go on ahead and leave. You'll be back. Ain't nobody gonna want you. They're gonna break you down till you believe it. So I say that to say this, and there will be plenty more videos. This was kind of like a little overview. Hello, my name is Live, Learn, Liz. I just want to say this, and then I'm going to wrap it up. Break the silence. That will save your life. Tell somebody. It doesn't matter if you go to work and you tell your boss. Now you got support. Tell your neighbor. Tell your parents. Tell your sister. Tell your family. Tell your grandma. Tell anybody. Tell it. Break the silence, people. This will help you. Believe it or not. This will help you. And if you're safety planning, your safety plan will be a little bit more successful if you at least have one person that knows like a code word, that, you know, will pull up on you. You know what I'm saying? You need somebody to pull up on you. You need somebody that will be able to be there in a notice. You need support. You can't do this by yourself. With no support. You can't. The violence only thrives in darkness. Dang, I said that wrong. I'm so sorry, y'all. The violence only thrives in silence. The more you keep it a secret, the more they think you can go ahead and do it because you're allowing them to. Break it. Speak up. On top of that, even afterwards, now you use that hurt, that pain, turn it into a passion. It's what I'm doing. I want to help other women that are going through whatever in any way that I can. It is not your fault. It is not the victim's fault. So that it couldn't be me and maybe she did something. That's another thing. What did she do? That should not be the next question after somebody tells you they're being abused. Well, what did you do? Because at the end of the day, nobody deserves that. Nobody. Not a man, not a woman, not gay, straight, bi. It don't matter. It does not matter. We don't deserve it. Especially not from somebody who says that they love us. It doesn't matter. We don't deserve it. You don't deserve it. We didn't ask for it. We didn't get with that person and say, hey, you like beating women? Great. Like it doesn't. We don't do that. So cut that out of the narrative. It's ignorant. It's a trigger. Just stop. We need empathy, not sympathy. We're not asking you to feel sorry for us. We don't want you to feel sorry for us. But we want you to understand. And if you don't understand, in my Zaria voice, Google is free. You can do your research. Or you can ask questions. So that is my thing, guys. That's it. I'm not going to go too deep into it right now anyway. But, I mean, the fact that it's dangerous for a victim to leave, that's why. It's dangerous. It's a life or death situation even after the abuse is over. So that's why a lot of us stay. All right, Royals. So this 2024, we're accomplishing goals, keeping positive mindset, and letting the suckers be suckers. This is the time to straighten our crowns, learn new things. Remember this, can't nothing stop royalty, guys. Stay love, like and subscribe. Comment if you'd like. Love y'all. Peace.